It's hands down the funnest segment we do every month here in the Oklahoma Video Studios, the Oklahoma Film and Music Office segment with this lady right here, Tava Sofsky with the Oklahoma Film and Music Office. Always good to see you.
You too.
And as always, she brings friends this year as we head to deadCenter Film Festival coming up this very weekend. The Executive Director, Lance McDaniel, and the buffest guy we've ever had on set, Mr. Adam Hampton. He may just flex once or twice just for ratings, just so we have that.
Just for ratings.
Adam, it's great to meet you. Welcome in. He is with the
here.
Shawnee-based Outsiders Productions. He also is involved with a few films this weekend with the festival, which we'll get to in just a second. But as always, the first and last word goes to Tava. What have we missed over the past couple weeks? Last time we spoke in May, we were talking music festivals and production. The show goes on.
Yeah, there's always so many great music festivals in the spring in Oklahoma, and then of course we had a heavy film production scheduled this summer or this spring. But one of the big moments that we had was hosting our Film and Music mentoring and networking series that we do. So in the spring every year we do film focus, and in the fall we do music focus. And so we just wrapped up how to start a film production company. And that was at Paramount, in the Paramount room. It was packed, it was great, these guys were there. Our speakers were 3 gentlemen who have just solid, growing film production companies in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And so it was Russ Kirkpatrick from Tulsa and Ryan Belgart from Oklahoma City and Kyle Roberts. So it was we have it archived. It should be up on our YouTube channel.
Cool.
If it's not already, it will be soon. But so if you missed it, but it's great networking, and it's just like deadCenter. It's just really important to get everybody together and see each other, you know, outside of the film sets or the recording studios or whatnot. So yeah, it was really successful. So we're thankful for Paramount, who also stepped up as a partner this year. And then around that time, we had 3 Oklahoma-made films actually at Cannes in different aspects. So we had Wildlife, of course, most people know about that. It filmed in Enid year before last, and then which premiered at Sundance in January, but it was at Cannes. And then Wake Up, which filmed in Oklahoma, was also you know, showcasing at Cannes, as well as Painted Woman. And Painted Woman was actually directed by James Cotton, an Oklahoman himself, and he did a fantastic job with that. And that film just keeps on going. It's been in theaters, it's been at different festivals. It has you know, a long life. So. Yeah, so lots of production activity and films being showcased around the world for Oklahoma. So it's been awesome. And then leading up to now, really too, we've had some great successes, more great successes from I Can Only Imagine. And there were so many Oklahomans involved with that film, and you know, being that it's the band Mercy Me was rooted here in Oklahoma. That's why we keep singing the praises of the filmmakers and the band. They actually swept at the Kayla Fan Awards just last week. They won like Best Song of the Year, Best Album of the Year, Best Band of the Year, and then they won an award for Film Impact because of the movie. So that was really cool. I don't know if anybody tuned into that. It was broadcast on TBN for the first time ever. So more eyes on Oklahoma, which is what we love.
She mentioned, I Can Only Imagine, the Mercy Me, the band that she's talking about, will be in concert this Saturday, Frontier City. You see some information right there, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah. So get your tickets. If you know, of course, if you get a Frontier City pass, you can go to the concert for free. And something special that we're doing, which I know we've put the word out through press releases and things like that, but during legislation session, actually Randy McDaniel had this brilliant idea after he was so inspired after seeing the movie at the Oklahoma premiere that he went back to the Capitol and he was like, we've got to name this song as our state inspirational song. So that led to getting a bill passed in that regard. And so McDaniel and a few other of our legislators will be there at the concert with us to present the bill that that was framed for them. So that'll be a huge honor. So we're excited about that.
Cool. Mercy Me in concert Saturday night at the Frontier City theme park.
Well, if you haven't seen it, if the people haven't seen it, It's amazing. It's one of the best movies that's been made in Oklahoma, and I think it's interesting because it's a genre film. It's a Christian genre film, but we do a lot of genre films, and we'll be talking about that, in reference to our festival. But don't let that keep you from going. It is awesome. It is a great movie. It's very well written. It's very well acted. And so I think everyone should be proud that movie was made right here in Oklahoma, and it was done because of Tava and her team. So.
Yeah, and all the support that our office has with the rebate program and so forth. And it actually, so if it's already run through theaters, it was in theaters for a pretty long,
had a good run.
Pretty long tenure. I think it
80 or 90 million.
Grossed 83, 84 million, which is awesome for such a low budget indie film. But it goes to the home viewing market on demand and DVD June 12th. So people can just keep on watching it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can find more information, including more about that incentive program at okfilmmusic.org is the state's website there for film and music information, which leads us to the state's largest film festival. Coming up just hours away, Thursday through Sunday, various locations in downtown Oklahoma City. Lance McDaniel.
Yes, well, so this is our 18th year hosting the deadCenter Film Festival, and we are super excited. It actually is the biggest we will have ever presented because we have 135 films this year, and that includes 21 feature films, 102 short films, and 12 virtual reality films. And so probably the two films that I think most people are generating the most buzz is one is the Jurassic Games, which stars Adam Hampton right here, and it's written and directed by Ryan Belgart. And he is a local filmmaker that I think is probably succeeding more than certainly than me, but more than most of us, because while I'm here, he's actually in LA making it.
Details.
But what he's done is he's figured out he loves doing genre movies that include these awesome CGI monsters, and so this one it's like the Hunger Games, but there's tons of dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs will blow you away. I mean, it looks exactly like Jurassic Park. It is fantastic. So what he's done is he's figured out a formula that he loves to make these kind of movies, and he's found a distribution partner that they're now pre-selling his movies overseas before he even makes them. And that's really that's the way that you become a real filmmaker, is when people are paying you to make movies instead of just raising money every single time. And so I think he's really, and it is great for us at the film festival because we want people like that are succeeding not only creatively but financially, and giving the rest of us a model like here's one way to make it work in the industry. And I think so. I'm super proud of him, and he is the greatest guy. And I'll let Adam talk a little bit more about that. So this is not your first movie with him, is that right?
No, I worked on Gremlin with Ryan, and it played actually at deadCenter last year as well. Yeah, I've known him for several years. In fact, I knew him before both of us were making films, and then he came out with Army of Frankensteins, which was just kind of quintessential Ryan Belgart, just like this crazy concept, great visuals. Some satirical elements, and just a lot of fun. And he's basically just run with it. So I'm fortunate to know the guy and try to weasel in as much as I can to everything he works on. So.
Yeah, but what's been awesome is, so we also play a lot of Adam's movies, and Adam is a writer and a director and a producer, and it has been so fun seeing this side of his career take off as an actor, because you are a fantastic actor and you're awesome on camera, and it is great that Ryan is really promoting local actors like you, and so if you see the Jurassic Games, all but one or two live right here in Oklahoma, and that makes a big difference because these movies are succeeding. They are being released internationally, and so it really helps the entire community when Ryan succeeds because he's so good about using other locals. And then the other Oklahoma narrative film I would tell you about is called You People, and it's by LaRon Chapman, and he is a first-time feature film director. He's from OU, and it's awesome, and it tackles race and identity, and it's a comedy, and it does it in a really smart way. And when we've worked on movies together, and he was like, "Oh, my first film's going to be a feature." I'm like, "Oh, no, make sure.
Good luck with that."
And he was like, "No, I'm doing it," and he did it, and it's awesome, and our judges loved it, and it is, and the movies are super different. Like those two movies are very different, and of course, all 135 are really different.
I was about to say, it seems like you have a pretty diverse lineup of comedy, of shorts, of dramatic, of meaningful.
Oh yeah. So there's a movie called Hal about Hal Ashby that is, and he's an actor that did Harold and Maude. I mean, he's a director that did Harold and Maude and Shampoo and Coming Home. So he's this Oscar-winning filmmaker, and the movie is made by Amy Scott, who's from Lawton, Oklahoma, and then Bradley Beasley, who's a longtime deadCenter filmmaker, has his next one's called Fathers of Football, about the Wagner football team.
Wagner football, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got one about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders that is amazing, called Daughters of the Sexual Revolution. And it seems like it starts off as this kind of titillating deal about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And
as you might expect.
As you might expect. I mean, I had every one of their posters on my wall in Alba. But what it turns out, it's actually about the woman that created them and ran them. It was like this total bulldog trying to keep the NFL from abusing all these different things. So it's an awesome, empowering kind of a feminist look at that cultural icon. And then we've got one about John McEnroe. We've got a musical starring Nick Offerman called Hearts Beat Loud. There's a Jessica Chastain, Sam Rockwell movie called Woman Walks Ahead, where she goes and takes a train to interview Sitting Bull in the 1800s and gets caught in the middle of all the politics between the Native Americans and the army there. And so we've got a broad range of films. I think we have something for every single person. We even have one called Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich, which is a horror film starring demonic puppets. And some of our judges love that.
As you might expect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah. So and then we've got a really uplifting documentary called Purple Dreams that is about a high school teacher that basically has his theater class do the color purple, and they take it all the way to the nationals for the first time. And so, and A Shot in the Dark is about a blind high school wrestler that's trying to win a state championship for the first time. And so, if you like inspirational movies, we've got them. If you like comedies, horrors, action films, we've got everything. And if you don't know what you like, go to our shorts programs, because we've got 11 or 14 shorts programs like Okie Shorts, where we will show 12 movies within an hour and a half. And so, if you're kind of new to a festival, I highly recommend going to these shorts, because you'll get to see a bunch of different types of films and filmmakers.
One of my favorite memories of deadCenter Film Festivals a few years ago with the Myriad Gardens on the Lawn. I believe it was a Fleetwood Mac movie. Yeah. I forget the name of it. But that's something you also have this year, Leonard Skinner.
Oh yeah, so our outdoor movie, we do a lot, and we'll talk. We do a lot of free stuff at our festival, because we get 30 to 35,000 people, and some of those are obsessive movie buffs that want to go to every movie, and some of them just love our parties. But we do a free screening outside, and this year we have an unbelievable partner, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder is world premiering a movie about Nick Collison called Mr. Thunder. It's about a 25-minute movie, and that'll be around 9 o'clock on this Saturday for free outside at Myriad Gardens, followed by a movie called If I Leave Here Tomorrow, which is about Leonard Skinner. And it is a great, I love rock dogs, and there's tons of music, and it's awesome. And the best thing that when I saw it at South by Southwest, I walk out and the kid behind me said, "Oh, I thought Leonard Skinner was a guy's name. I thought it was one person in the band." And so you're like, "Well, I'm glad you saw that." So it is a
Leonard.
Hey, Leonard. And it is actually a person named after. But so I think we have a ton of fun movies, and so you can check out our schedule online. So all the schedule and all the movies are online, and these will be all over Oklahoma City. But the main thing I wanted to mention is that we do a ton. The reason we're able to serve 30 to 35,000 people is because we have amazing partners. And probably our longest serving partner, and the partner that we work most strategically with, is Tava and the Oklahoma Film and Music Office. And what she'll tell you about right now is we do a panel series that has become super popular, where we're getting 125 people in the main room and 100 in the overflow room. So it's a very popular series that Tava will tell you all about right now.
And that's coming up Saturday, correct?
Yes.
I was looking at the schedule thinking, I just need to camp out right there.
Yeah, you do.
And just learn.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I highly recommend. We have ironically filmmakers from out of state coming in from Georgia, ironically, that is just has a little window of time, and we told him about all the panels, and he's interested in the producing panel too, because he's interested in coming and making a movie here. He wants to hear from 3 awesome producers that have made films right here in Oklahoma. So we have kind of something for everybody that whole day. The panels start at ACM at UCO, which is an awesome partner for deadCenter, and they have been for us as well. Downtown in Bricktown, and then they start at 10 and they go all the way till the last one starts at 4. So they're covering shorts, documentaries, topics of like makeup, wardrobe, and casting, and then some of the technical, crude technical jobs that we have, camera, lights, and sound, and then of course a producing panel and directing panel and acting. So we get to have Nathan Poppy is going to moderate a conversation with Ryan Merriam.
That'd be great.
Who's been in a couple of great Oklahoma films, and he's incredible alongside Adam, and Jurassic Games. So it's going to be an awesome day, and we've structured it. This is our 3rd year doing this with deadCenter, and we've structured it. We've kind of grown over the past couple of years, seeing the demand. Is we have the main panel room, and then there's an overflow room. So if that one's full, you can still have an awesome, spot on the sofa and watch and hear the panel conversation going on. And then down the hall on the riverfront is a networking room, because that's so important. That's important for all of us in the film community to have that opportunity. So, if you want a little break from a panel, go down and just network and photo ops and refreshments and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a great day. And we're it's crazy. I was thinking about 18 years. Like, it's longer than we've all known each other, that we've been at our jobs, and it's a long time, 18 years to have that relationship and partnership. And so the roots are deep, and we're honored to be a part of it, and just appreciate all that y'all do. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. And so, Tava and the Oklahoma Film and Music Office do events throughout the year, and so the panel series has really kind of evolved into a similar deal. And so basically, because they've been so effective at getting 200 people that are in the film industry coming to these events that they do, they were the perfect partner for helping us kind of reshape this, because it used to be in the museum, and it was like 1 or 2, so we never really, it was maybe 1 panel. So finally we're like, well, let's just make it a film school. Let's make it like you can go from 10 to 5 for free and sit there and learn everything you need to know about how to make a movie. And it also allows us to show off our icons. So we have 3 Icon Award winners this year, and Ryan Merriman is the first one, and he stars alongside Adam in the Jurassic Games. He was in 42. He was Pretty Little Liars. He's a guy that was I did a lot of research on him. He was in 20 movies and TV shows prior to being 20 years old. So he was a child actor, and then an adolescent actor, and doing all these different things. Smart House was one of his first ones on Disney, and he has transitioned into a very successful adult actor, which is super challenging if you've ever seen a rehab show. And so if you've ever seen Behind the Music, that's hard. And he's just the coolest dude. I mean, he's great, and he worked on a series with Jeff Robinson. When and Casey Twinter, they did a golf series with him, which kind of brought him back, and it kind of put him on the attention of all the rest of us that are working here. Is like, oh God, there's this amazing actor from Choctaw. And then he's going to be joined by Alfre Woodard, which is a 4-time Emmy Award winner, Golden Globe winner. I believe she's the most awarded actor ever in Oklahoma history. She's got an Oscar nomination, but she's coming back, and she'll. What's great is we're doing some special events with her up at the Ralph Ellison Library and a bunch of Girl Scout troops that we're not advertising to the public. But our goal is, when we get these people in, we want to share them as broadly and widely with the community. And an example of that is Adam is speaking at our deadCenter University program, shown right here.
Well done.
And we partner with MetroTech. So Metro Technology Center has been our partner for the last 3 years, and they have, again, because of great partnerships, they've taken an idea we had and turned it into something super professional and amazing. And so they have 55 kids from all over Oklahoma that'll come and get to meet with Adam and hear what it's like acting on camera, and get basically 2 or 3 days of actual filming with different directors here, and then to get to enjoy the festival. So our goal is to try to help the community every time we can. And luckily, all of our partners feel the same way. And then the final icon I want to mention is Kim Voyner, and she's a McGinnis grad and a UCO grad, and one of the smartest people working in film. And she has now focused, after several years of doing criticism and reviews, she's now focused exclusively on virtual reality 360 and what's next in the future of technology for film. And so she's going to be headlining our tech conference that'll be this Friday at 21C. We have free, that'll be open all weekend, 10 to 6, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it'll be there will be presentations on Friday from 12 to 5. So that's a new program. It's a new tech conference we're launching.
We can talk a little bit about that. We shot a story kind of highlighting the scavenger hunt that's involved there.
Yes. And so Brent Wilberger and the team at Trifecta Communication have put this together, where they're launching. So what you're seeing is they're launching an augmented reality treasure hunt right there at 21C. That's the ballroom where we'll be having our event. And so it'll be the first virtual ribbon cutting that's ever been done by the Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce. And that'll be at noon. And then Kim will talk about what the future is of 360 films. And then Trifecta will come back and talk about how virtual reality and augmented reality are being used across a variety of businesses. And so one thing that's kind of exciting for us is Baker Hughes, that GE research building.
Which is huge.
is huge and super top secret. Well, I went and they gave me a presentation
Tell
of
us
what
more.
they do. Yeah, exactly. They're creating humans. No. I'm actually, I'm a hologram, turns out. Yeah, they kidnapped me. They're using drones to fly over western Oklahoma and analyze oil fields within 45 minutes and creating 3D models that then you can go into a virtual reality headset back at their office and fix things that are going wrong remotely out in the panhandle. And so that's going to be our final talk. So our goal is here's how these technologies, which are the technologies are drones, virtual reality, and augmented reality. Here's how they're being used in film, and here's how other industries, like the oil industry, are using the same technologies to change their business.
Wow.
And it's so relevant.
I can say it faster if you need me to.
I mean, it's so relevant though. Like the
You're
fact
right.
that deadCenter is on the cutting edge. You know, that's Sundance is doing stuff too. I mean, it's happening everywhere. But you guys are like right on the cutting edge. It's awesome. I cannot wait.
Well, thank you. One thing I do want to bring up about Adam. So Adam and the Outsider Productions, Chad Matthews being one of them, have been making movies and web series and for years. And then now they've started a new project, and I've gotten to see it out of Grand Casino, and it's awesome. And so, would you tell us a little bit more about that, Adam?
Sure. Well, it's in a sense, it's a spiritual sort of sister project at deadCenter because it's so much about community. I mean, so much of what's beautiful and sort of epic about deadCenter is the aspect of coming together with your filmmaking brothers and sisters, meeting people. I mean, the process of filmmaking brings people together anyway. And so we kind of, it was Chad's idea to start highlighting some musicians. And so what we wanted to do is try to pair with musicians from Oklahoma who live here, who are from here, and try to help tell their story in a sort of a documentary format. So I'm going out and speaking to them. We're filming them playing acoustically, and then they're playing in the Play It Loud sort of theater or set. And then we're highlighting these episodes, one per month. And then in August, we're going to have a show. It's just been released that we're going to have a show with all 4 of these musicians that we've spoken to, where they're going to have a benefit concert for the Red Dirt Relief Fund. Yeah. It's really exciting, and it's cool because I'm not a musician and I'm not a musical historian. So I'm speaking to them just as a guy trying to chase his dreams too, and what's it like for you, and really trying to highlight the artist as well as the art, which I think then you can start crossing lines. So maybe someone who doesn't listen to country, well, I really like that guy's story. I like his character. I like his personality. Or and then they're able to connect with the artist, and then be open to songs or music they wouldn't listen to otherwise. Yeah.
And you're the perfect person because you are a storyteller, and that's basically what you're doing through Play It Loud is not only playing the music but playing their stories behind it.
Right. Well, yeah, it's a fantastic team. I mean, it was Chad Matthews' baby, and he presented it to us. Jason Alexander, one of my best friends, and he's shooting the whole thing at cutting it, and Kenny Pitts is helping produce it. So it's very familial in that sense, and I'm excited to see where it goes. The first season, largely, country, folk, blues, and I'm excited for a rap artist or a heavy metal artist, or people that my grandmother wouldn't be listening to. Hopefully, we convince people to see past whatever genre these artists are working in, and see the person, see the soul, see the story.
So how can people watch the episodes?
You can find us online. It's Play It Loud. I believe it's Play It Loud Show, or go to the Grand Casino, and then hook up with us there. And please do so. Share it.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's also, I think, just another good indication of the work that Tava and her office is doing in bridging the film and music industries, because every event you go to, even if it's film, there are Oklahoma musicians there, the Oklahoma musicians invited, and the same thing about filmmakers going to the music events. And I think that one of the greatest parts of working in Oklahoma is you actually do get to work alongside all these other artists that you respect, and whether it's Factory Obscura and the visual art that's going on there, or the musicians that are coming out of Oklahoma, you're constantly inspired by different types of arts and artists, and it's a small enough community that is cohesive enough that we actually all do learn and get to learn from each other and get to work with each other.
Right. To Adam's point, that website is playloudshow.com, which also redirects you to grandresortok.com, and you can see the videos right there. Tava?
I was just going to say a byproduct product of all of this that we're talking about, and the community. It is building the community even outside of the film and music industries, and making Oklahoma a better place to live and work and visit. You know, that's kind of what we all hope for. So it's not just impacting our small industries. It's really creating a better place.
Well, the world premiere of the Jurassic Games is at the deadCenter Film Festival on June the 8th. I believe that is a Friday, and you are the lead in that. What can you tell us? Are these dinosaurs cool to work with?
Yeah, they're divas. They're really difficult. They're worse than Lance.
Dino divas?
They're worse than Lance. No. It was
Not to point fingers, but
right. It was a fantastic experience. I mean, like, to me, whenever Ryan came with the idea and sort of what he wanted to do, and he had asked me to kind of spitball some ideas, because most of my stories or scripts are about two guys sitting around feeling sorry for themselves, not being chased by animals, and it really is a throwback to the sort of film that I would have loved as a kid. Like to me it's got like the pacing of a modern film, because we don't like to sit still very long, and it's got fantastic pacing. I think they've done a great job with that, but it's got sort of an 80s action film vibe. And then you've got the sci-fi element in there as well. It's a lot of fun. Merriman's charisma just oozes. The guy is you just talk to him for 5 minutes and it's like you think he's your best friend. He's that likable. He's that charming. He's that much fun to listen to. He kills it. The cast is fantastic. It really is the epitome of what's beautiful about filmmaking, is because it was such a bonding experience. I mean, we were shooting all over the state for all of these just fantastic sets. Chris Hoyt built a fantastic set on there in the sort of the studio of this Jurassic Games show, but then we were all over the state, getting beaten up by dinosaurs. And it's one of those projects that you get in and you feel like you're family with everybody when you walk out. Like you get why. I mean, another month and we would have all had Tyrannosaurus Rex tattoos or something. So it was a great experience. I'm excited because it hasn't been seen. I'm really excited for the premiere. It's only going to show once at deadCenter.
Yes.
And so, I hope it's just a packed house with people that are ready to have a good time.
You kind of can't believe it's Oklahoma. I mean, you're in Little Sahara Desert, but with dinosaurs. So, when they're filming, the dinosaurs aren't there.
Right.
So that was a fun thing to witness. But you're all over. I mean, you're at multiple state parks.
Right.
In Oklahoma. The sets were amazing. The studio.
We were at Robbers Cave and Gloss Mountain.
Glass
Mountain.
Mountain.
Glass or Gloss?
Gloss, I think.
One of the mountains.
Yeah.
We were out there getting beaten up for a while. And then, of course, they had built just this tremendous set there with their production company. So we were there several days as well. So these guys are wild ambitious.
It's an awesome movie, and the reason we're playing it once because people have asked us that. But this is a movie that's already getting distribution, and so a lot of times how it works is you go to festivals, and then if your movie gets picked up, a lot of times the distributors don't want it playing again for free because they want to make money every time it plays because they just paid for it.
And you want to make money as well.
Right.
Well, yeah, but luckily Ryan, we have such a strong relationship with Ryan, and his distributor actually sees the value in our festival and will be here at our festival, and so they're like, well, yeah, let's do a screening. It's going to be free, so that screening will be free and open to the public, I think we've got a 400-seat theater, so we've got a big theater at Harkins. It's at 7 o'clock this Friday, and it is, I mean, it'll blow you away. It'll blow you away that right here in Oklahoma they're making movies that look that fabulous, where the acting is that great, the storyline is so tight. I mean, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So
am I. And I actually, thanks to Lance and Sarah and his team, they provided a screener copy, so I got to see it, and I made sure it was appropriate. It's PG-13, I think, is the technical rating. But I had my kids watch it with me, and they're ages 10 to 14. They were on the edge of their seat. Like I got more, I got more joy out of watching them on the edge of their seats. Really, they were really engaged. I mean, of course, they love Jurassic World and Hunger Games, and just love great movies. And they commented on his acting.
Oh.
I mean, out of everybody, it was great and so
nice.
fun. And yeah, it was. So it's a good family movie. I mean, probably not underage, maybe 10, but
Well, yeah, and a little side note, Adam is also the star of a movie called The Grave.
Which you get to be the villain.
Yes.
Where he is
I'm
the
heavy.
villain,
Right.
exactly. And that is from a super popular filmmaker that has been wonderful to deadCenter, Kyle Roberts. And he won deadCenter with the Posthuman Project a few years back. And we just love having his movies, and he's just the greatest guy, super successful, and he's doing a ton of work. Like, he's doing the new stop motion animation TV series for the Trolls movie. So he's another one of those people, and he was on the panel that Tava hosted, that really is succeeding in the film industry and paying back and using Oklahomans as often as he can. And so I think he's another wonderful filmmaker. But the fact is, we've got 135 films, and I would say 120 of those are made by super nice people.
Good
I don't know
people.
about the other 15.
Yeah. They're good people.
Well,
and
I would like to say this, because you've mentioned a few names, and I think it's fantastic. I want to go back to the high school outreach program that you've got going on. I have actually a coworker whose son was very excited to be able to be a part of that,
nice.
and he's like jazzed. And I love what deadCenter is doing in regards to that. I grew up in Dale, small town. There was no, I mean, we had lots of farm production. There was no film production classes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I would have loved to have had access to that sort of information, access to these sort of people, and this sort of inspiration, and just to show possibility. Like, you can make films here. You can chase craziness here and be passionate about it. And I think having programs like that is really one of the most beautiful aspects of the deadCenter Film Festival and what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you. I think so too. And Harry Wallahan, who is over at Metro Tech, has really turned this into something great. And Lori Lyons and Kathy Story, the whole team there. I mean, look at this brochure. That's the most professional thing of all time. And these are all, you can't see it, but these are all the thousands of people that are coming and doing, and all these people come because they want to help the next generation of filmmakers. And so deadCenter is a success because all the volunteers, we have 400 volunteers, like both of them, and sponsors and everyone else, and everyone kind of has the same goal, which is, hey, let's celebrate the art of film and let's make it as broadly accessible as possible. So.
All right, the deadCenter Film Festival runs Thursday through Sunday, various places downtown Oklahoma City. You can find information, including schedule information, deadcenterfilm.org. Tava, as always, I'll give you the last word. We mentioned the Mercy Me concert. You may want to foreshadow a few other events happening around the state in addition to the deadCenter Film Festival.
Yeah. So if you're coming in for deadCenter, that's awesome. You're going to have so many opportunities there. If you're in Grove or anywhere near Grove, Oklahoma, you can go to the American Heritage Music Festival that Jana J. And her team spearhead up there. It's awesome. We've been supporting that for a long time, as well as the OK Mozart in Bartlesville. So again, northeast part of the state. If you're up there and you can't get to Oklahoma City this weekend, and you love music, and then go out to those. And then the following weekend, or the Mercy Me concert. And I'm actually going to be at both. The panel series all day, and then I'll go over to the event at Frontier City. But then the following weekend is Jazz in June, which is in Norman, June 13th through the 16th, and then Made in Oklahoma Festival, which is June 16th. So there's a lot of opportunities coming up in June.
Well, and that Jazz in June is unbelievably great.
Stuff.
And I remember Parker Millsap. I remember seeing him. Maybe he was still in high school, or maybe right out. But I went to see him 2 or 3 years, and now, of course, to go see him, it's a lot bigger ticket, and he's harder to get it. But I mean,
Go see him now.
I think all these festivals, so not just our festival, but I think all these festivals are important because they provide an opportunity for local artists to share their art. And that Jazz in June, the music that they're playing in Norman at that Jazz in June is fabulous. So go check it out.
Need to mention a few things you should check out to the Thursday edition of the Oklahoman. My colleague Brandy McDaniel has an interview and a centerpiece story with a gentleman that Lance mentioned earlier, Mr. Brad Beasley, who has a film, Fathers of Football, I believe, the Wagner High School football story. That film will be at deadCenter. Anyway, Brandy's centerpiece story, I believe, is Thursday's editions of the Oklahoman. She's also moderating an interview with Alfre Woodard. Is that correct?
She is. Yes. So Alfre Woodard will be interviewed by Brandy McDaniel of the Oklahoman at 5:30 this Saturday at the Museum of Art. And then Ryan will be interviewed by Nathan Poppy at 1 o'clock on Saturday at ACM. And then Kim Voyner will be interviewed by me at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock on Friday. Yeah, she was the big loser. Sorry. Should be you probably. Yeah.
And Ryan Merriman will actually be in studio right here tomorrow, chatting with Brandy. So all sorts of deadCenter information can be found. Again, you can find more information online, deadcenterfilm.org, and okfilmmusic.org. Adam, congrats on your career and all the success behind and in front of the camera.
Thank you.
Have fun this weekend. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Lance, always great to catch up.
Always great to see you too. Thank you, and thanks for having us, Tava. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
And Tava, thank you as always.
Thank you.